Good morning. Welcome to Friday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day, give you some things to think about, to effect change in, etc. So, we have a card today from the Wild Offering deck by Tosha Silver, which is always one of my favorite decks because it gives you something simple but not easy. So, good morning, Nancy. Welcome. You're the first one popping on today. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. So let us start with some breath and some tapping just to kind of settle ourselves in, ground us fully in this present moment, because as we've seen with quite a few of our readings lately, that's the only moment we have any impact on. Right here, right now. We can plan all we want for the future. We can lament all we want about the past, but in this moment, right here, right now, that's the creative edge. So, tapping, pick a spot. I like this spot, but if you have a different spot that works better for you, feel free. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, letting your shoulders drop. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, relaxing, releasing, allowing. In through the nose, drawing in healing golden light, out through the mouth, releasing anything that no longer serves you. So I want you to imagine it's almost like a giant vacuum. You breathe in, energy coming down and in and out, pushing it out through your feet into Mother Earth, where it can be transmuted and used in another way. In through the nose, out through the mouth, and one more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. There we go. Just feeling that sense of groundedness. And I'm getting the ringing in my ears, which has been very present lately. And often, to me, is a sign that I'm supported. I have those on the other side are around me. Sometimes it includes that there is a message available. So if that message wants to flow out with today's card, that's absolutely fine with me. It started a few minutes early today simply because we're starting the season of Rummage-O-Rama. So I gotta grab some lotion here. So again, moving some of my mother's things. She's going to be gone 5 years on the 19th. That is just mind-boggling to me. Continuing to move. Good morning, Beth. Glad you're here. Continuing to move some of her things on, blessing them on their way to whomever's meant to have them next. So those of you who are in the Fox Cities area of Wisconsin, feel free to drop in. We've got a bunch of stuff. 1821 West Wisconsin Avenue. There you go. So we got 4 rooms full of stuff. Cool stuff. That's the problem. If it was not cool stuff, we could just, recycle it or take it to the metal place or whatever, but it's cool stuff. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Gwen. Hope I didn't miss anybody as I'm yakking away here, but yes, anyway, today starts the season of Rummage-O-Rama, and I'll give you updates as we go in terms of how stuff is moving along. So, card for today, the Wild Offering Oracle deck by Tosha Silver. Good morning, Angie. Ooh, we got 2 sets of sparkles. Wow. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. And with the Wild Offering deck, again, with the book, it's about letting the divine take the lead, turning things over, not pouring so much effort into trying to manipulate outcomes, but allowing the universe to unfold in divine right timing and divine right order. And many of us are not so hot about that. Ah, fabulous. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, several of you, Gwen too, several of you have popped into the Rummage-O-Ramas when you're in the area. So we'll be at it all summer long again, I'm sure. So, and now there will be pretty much, I think for the most part, my sister and I will be there all the time. My dad maybe less so. We'll see. He's coming with us this morning. We'll see how long he lasts, but then one of us can drop him off at home if it gets to be too tiring. So, but our card for today, the artwork on this one, and the artwork in this deck is by Katie Daisy, and this one I think is very pretty. Oh, first, got to show you the back. There's our pal Ganesh, the overcomer of obstacles. So if you find yourself facing a seeming obstacle, which oftentimes you can rewrite as an opportunity, here's my opportunity, what I'm meant to learn from this, call in Ganesh. Help overcome that obstacle. Maybe you go through it, maybe you go around it, maybe you go under it, maybe it modifies in some way, shrinks up to a little stone you could put in your pocket for remembering, whatever. We have many more ways of addressing obstacles than we think we do. So here's the card for today. Isn't that pretty? It's like birch and the leaves are changing. I just think that's such a pretty card. It's True Offering. So we have True Offering from the Wild Offering deck. So nice deep breath in and out. True Offering. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, capital P, capital U, or capital Y. May I relax into your plan, trusting that the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for the highest. I am yours alone. So I smiled when I read that card because it fit perfectly with 3 different things that occurred yesterday. One was talking to a client, one was talking to a friend, and one was a phone call with someone for some work stuff. But the gist of all of them, and I had also watched a Rebecca Campbell video, and in there she talks about this also. She talked about it as, like, for my words, stages of development in terms of giving and receiving, and that many people are currently in the stage of giving to receive. So I do this nice thing for you, you do this nice thing for me, or there's expectations attached to the doing for someone else. She indicated that we are moving, and can definitely feel this, moving into that place where we do for the sake of doing. We do for the sake of, we give to others for the sake of demonstrating to ourselves that we don't have to hold on tightly to things. We can move things through, that what we move through signals the universe. I know there's more coming. I can release this because I know there's always more coming. It's an endless font of time, energy, money, resources, people, whatever it is that we need in a moment will show up. Will show up as we get out of the way. As we move into that, where's the words here? Next steps will always be shown. And one of the people I was working with yesterday, a coaching client, was lamenting how much effort she was pouring into trying to fix her circumstances. And I kept reminding her that it wasn't about the effort in that way, especially when it gets to be panicked and feeling like your back's against the wall and knee-jerk reaction kind of reaction or acts. That's not where we need to be. In fact, that gums up the works much worse. As opposed to this kind of a thing. I release it all. I pay attention to the signs and the cues. I take the next step that shows up. Can't see the whole staircase, a la Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but I take the next step in faith. I have no idea where I'm going, but I can see that this is the path, so I will take the next step. So again, I'm on the last book of The Lord of the Rings, and throughout this whole series, there's been so much of this. Traveling in the dark. You can't see where you're going. traveling in foreign lands. You don't know the terrain. All of those things that call for relying on faith and trust. Again, if we knew every step of the path, we would never have to develop faith and trust. But faith and trust being pivotal, amazing steps that we all want to develop in this process. That's part of why we're here, to learn faith and trust. So, releasing the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, trusting that the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for the highest. I am yours alone. So, what today could be a step in that regard? One for me is, rather than paying attention to my emails all day long when I'm over at the rummage sale trying to be of assistance, is being present in the moment I'm in. Trusting that the seeds I've planted, and I put out several emails yesterday for which there may be responses today, but trusting that when I get home at 3:30, 4 o'clock, there's enough time there to respond, address what needs addressing, trusting the divine unfolding. Again, this will unfold as it's meant to. Yesterday, a potential development came up with regard to the affordable housing project. And interestingly, this kind of made me smirk. It came right after someone in the city had sent me an email back, one of the planners, and the last paragraph of what she put in the email was basically pouring cold water on the fire. Like, yeah, you think you're going to do this, but it's not likely to work. Rather than get freaked out about that or upset or worried, it was like, okay, well, if it is to happen, it'll happen. If it isn't to happen, it won't happen. Not investing my energetic eggs in a particular basket. Allowing, breathing. Shortly thereafter, another email comes across my desk, different source, that is like, oh, well, this could be a potential solution. Just interesting how that stuff works, right? Our part of that, though, is, are we open to receiving? Are we open to ideas coming our way that may not be at all what we had envisioned, but it's what the path is unfolding before us? Are we willing to let go of our death grip on it has to unfold this way, to embrace, oh, it seems to be unfolding that way. It seems to be headed that way. And a lot of times when we're standing at those crossroads, we're like, well, I can't discern which direction has a greater pull for me. Then stand there. Just stand there and be. Wait. Send out a message. Okay, whichever path I'm meant to take, call more loudly. Let me know. Send me some signs. Send me some irrefutable signs that my thick skull can actually process, right? Make it abundantly clear which path you wish for me to take. And then wait. Listen. Observe. And again, it's not just listening with your physical ears, it's listening with your intuitive ears. And it's not just looking with your physical eyes, it's looking with your intuitive eye, right? So there is the true offering. It's a back and forth, it's a divine relationship. How willing are you to breathe into that and allow? That's your practice today. On this fine Friday, how will you breathe into what is? How will you acknowledge what is? How will you accept what is, even if you don't like it? And then look for the next steps to move you on your way. Have an awesome Friday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.